Welcome back to Prop News Time. Here are the headlines for the day. BMRCL proposes state's first intercity metro link from Bengaluru to Tumakuru. The Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Lutat, BMRCL, has proposed extending the Namma Metro's Green Line from Madavara to Tumakuru, marking Karnataka's first intercity metro project. Spanning 59 kilometers with 25 elevated stations, the corridor aims to cut the 2-hour road commute, offering a faster, more efficient transport option. The estimated project cost is between INR 18,670 crore and INR 20,650 crore, with funding options including a public-private partnership or a state-central joint model. The metro could serve 280,000 daily commuters by the year 2032 and spur real estate growth along its route. Despite mixed reactions, the government supports continued feasibility work amid rising demand from Tumakuru's growing industrial base. Tura emerges as a model for sustainable growth, with INR 1,000 crore infrastructure investments. Tura is rapidly developing with infrastructure projects exceeding INR 1,000 crore, aimed at transforming the Garo Hills' largest town into a modern urban hub. Major initiatives include the INR 338 crore Tura Smart Town Plan, INR 400 crore Urban Water Supply Scheme, and the INR 120 crore Mini Secretariat. Projects like the INR 143 crore PA Sangma Sports Complex and the INR 500 crore Turadalu Road further aim to improve mobility, governance, and recreational infrastructure. With a new medical college nearing completion and educational upgrades underway, Tura is positioning itself as a growth center in Western Meghalaya. Kolam's transformation. INR 500 crore boost for roads, tourism, tech and public services. Kolam is undergoing a major infrastructure upgrade with projects worth over INR 500 crore, enhancing connectivity, tourism and public services. The INR 352 crore Kolam bypass and INR 63 crore Asramam Link Road are easing city traffic, while a new bridge and coastal road aim to decongest NH 66. Adventure tourism at Maruthimala and a new sea view park are set to boost visitor footfall. A INR 39 crore sports complex and upcoming IT park promise the economic and employment growth. Police station and housing upgrades are also underway. These developments mark Kolam's emergence as a key urban and economic hub in Kerala's evolving growth strategy. CREDAI delegation meets Maharashtra Environment Minister to discuss environmental policies in real estate. A CREDAI National and CREDAI MCHE delegation met Maharashtra's Environment Minister Pankaja Mundai to address key environmental policy challenges affecting real estate in the Mumbai metropolitan region and across the state. Led by CREDAI National Chairman Boman Irani, the group advocated for faster environmental clearances, especially for CRZ redevelopment projects, and urged the integration of CEPI-based appraisals. They proposed a one-window clearance system via the Parivesh portal and announced a 10 lakh tree plantation drive focused on ecologically sensitive zones. Minister Munde welcomed the industry's proactive approach, assuring support for sustainable urban development. The meeting underscored CREDAI's commitment to balancing growth with environmental responsibility. A residential flat spanning 704 square feet sold in Siddhivinayak. The Orion in Raigad's Kalamboli for INR 1 crore 26 lakhs. A residential flat spanning 644 square feet sold in Godrej City. Golf Meadows in Raigad's Rasayani for INR 80 lakhs. A residential flat spanning 744 square feet sold in Indiabulls Greens. One in Raigad's New Panvel for INR 56 lakhs. Delhi Property Deals. O3 Plus Managing Director acquires luxury bungalow in Vasant Vihar for INR 72 crore. Vineet Kapoor, founder of skincare brand O3 Plus, and his wife Sonia Kapoor have purchased a bungalow in Delhi's upscale Vasant Vihar for INR 72 crore. The 663 square meter property was registered this week with a stamp duty of INR 1 crore 80 lakhs. The deal reflects growing interest in luxury homes among affluent buyers, especially in South Delhi's prestigious MCD colonies near Lutyens bungalow zone. Experts cite rising incomes, better infrastructure, and aspirational living as key drivers of this demand. Facilitated by CBRE, the transaction adds to a series of high-value deals in the area, underscoring strong confidence in Delhi's premium real estate market. Dwarka Expressway emerges as a premium residential hub, with 397% price surge. Over 15 years, Dwarka Expressway has evolved into a prominent real estate hotspot, witnessing the launch of nearly 43,000 housing units over the past 15 years. As per a recent report by Prop Equity, the launch price per square foot surged by an impressive 397%, touching INR 18,668 in 2024. The stretch has particularly flourished in the last 5 years, with sectors such as 113, 37D, 107-6, 111, and 103 accounting for 74% of new launches. With 4 BHK configurations dominating and infrastructure growth fueling demand, this corridor is rapidly solidifying its status as a lucrative investment zone. MORTH expands role of regional officers in NH projects to ensure better oversight and compliance. In a move aimed at tightening quality checks and accountability, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, MORTH, recently issued a directive instructing its regional officers, AROs, to assume greater oversight on National Highway (NH) works executed by state public works and road construction departments. The ministry highlighted repeated critical lapses attributed to inadequate diligence during bidding and legal dispute processes. To address this, ROs have now been mandated to scrutinize bid documents before tender invitations and play an active role in legal disputes. The measure intends to better safeguard the centre's interests and bring alignment with national policy frameworks. LDA announces INR 3,300 crore development projects to transform Lucknow's Gomti Nagar extension. The Lucknow Development Authority, LDA, is poised to launch 2 major projects in Gomti Nagar extension, with a total investment of INR 3,300 crore. The first project, Riverview Apartments, will develop 51 acres of residential land, featuring a range of flats, penthouses, and affordable housing for economically weaker sections, EWS, and lower income groups, LIG, all overlooking the Gomti River. The second project involves a hotel-cum-commercial complex on 5.5 acres, designed under a public-private partnership (PP) model. Together, these developments are expected to significantly upgrade Lucknow's urban infrastructure and lifestyle offerings, further boosting the city's appeal as a modern residential and commercial hub. MRIAT dismisses Arepal's plea for delay in appealing Maharera order on Immensa D project Agile Real Estate Pavattalattidas APL. Request to excuse the delay in appealing a Maharera order was denied by the Maharashtra Real Estate Appellate Tribunal MRET earlier this week. The original directive required Arepal to pay interest to home buyers of the Immensa D project in Thane for delayed possession. MRET found that Arepal failed to act diligently, noting the significant gap between obtaining the certified order and filing the appeal. The tribunal dismissed Arepal's justification of a medical emergency affecting their advocate, stating that the promoter had sufficient resources to seek alternative legal assistance within the prescribed period. Karnataka High Court cancels cooperative society registration at Yelahanka apartment complex. The Karnataka High Court invalidated the registration of a cooperative society established at the Ramki 1 North apartment complex in Avalhalli, Yelahanka, earlier this week. The residents had contested the formation of the society, arguing it was registered without their consent and under an incorrect legal framework. The court ruled that cooperative societies cannot be registered for purely residential apartment complexes under the Karnataka Cooperative Societies Act 1959. Instead, it mandated that apartment owners' associations must be formed in compliance with the Karnataka Apartment Ownership Act 1972. This ruling clarifies the legal requirements for managing residential apartment communities and reinforces the rights of homeowners. Mumbai developers arrested for defrauding home buyers of INR 35.7 crore installed project. The Mumbai Police's Economic Offences Wing detained Radius Sumer Developers promoters, Ramesh Shah and his son Rahul Shah, earlier this week on suspicion of defrauding 78 investors out of about INR 35.7 crore. The investors had committed funds to the Harbour Heights residential project in Mazgaon, South Mumbai, which was stalled at the plinth level for years. Despite repeated assurances of timely possession and promising lucrative returns, the project remained incomplete, and refund checks issued to buyers were dishonored. This case has spotlighted the persistent risks buyers face in incomplete projects and the urgent need for stricter regulatory enforcement in the real estate sector. Lokhandwala Lake in Mumbai to be cleaned after 6-year delay. After 6 years of petitions, protests and delays, the long-neglected Lokhandwala Lake in Andheri West is finally set for a cleanup. The semi-wild water body, once home to over 150 species of birds and a diverse aquatic ecosystem, has been damaged by invasive species, algae, and illegal dumping. Now, thanks to sustained efforts by local residents and activists, a no-objection certificate has been issued, a contractor appointed, and machines are ready to begin the desilting work. Environmentalists hope this marks the beginning of serious efforts to restore the lake's biodiversity and prevent further damage from encroachments and neglect. VVMC orders removal of encroachments on stormwater nulla in Vasai Virar to prevent flooding. In a serious breach of urban planning norms, a 23-foot wide nulla drain in Vasai's Kaman area has reportedly been illegally narrowed to just 6 feet, raising fears of flooding ahead of the monsoon. Concrete walls and encroachments by landowners are being blamed for the Sada blockage. In response, the Vasai Virar Municipal Corporation, VVMC, has ordered the illegal constructions to be removed and the nulla to be restored to its original width. With repeated flooding complaints from local residents, the civic body has also approached police and revenue officials to ensure compliance, warning that failure to act could worsen monsoon flooding. Embassy REIT secures INR 2,000 crore debt refinancing to trim interest burden. Embassy Office Parks REIT recently secured a debt facility of INR 2,000 crore to refinance its existing borrowings, aiming to reduce its interest outgo. The debt, issued as coupon-bearing, non-convertible debentures (NCDs), carries an interest rate of 7.21% for a tenure of 3 years. The refinancing move is projected to result in savings of approximately 77 basis points in interest compared to existing rates. The transaction received strong traction from institutional investors, with 11 entities participating. Embassy REIT currently manages a diversified commercial real estate portfolio spanning 51.1 million square feet across key Indian metros. Navi Mumbai offers 10% discount on property tax as part of Digital First and Women-led initiative. The Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, NMMC, has launched its annual property tax billing process for the financial year 2025-2026, with several citizen-centric reforms. For the first time, A 10% early bird discount is being offered to those who pay their property tax by the end of June. Bills are now available online via the NMMC website and mobile app, and the payment process has been streamlined through the Bharat Bill payment system. The corporation has also roped in women from self-help groups to distribute physical bills. Additionally, citizens are being urged to link their mobile numbers with their properties for digital updates. RBI proposes relaxed norms for AIF investments by banks and NBFCs amid tighter safeguards. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has proposed easing certain norms governing investments by banks, PFCs, and other regulated entities, RAs, in alternative investment funds, AIFs. This comes after regulatory actions taken in December 2023, aimed at curbing potential evergreening through AIFs, were found to have instilled financial discipline. The revised draft directions suggest allowing REAs to invest up to 5% of a scheme's corpus freely, capping individual contributions at 10% and collective exposure at 15%. Provisions will be mandatory in specific cases of downstream debt investments. SEBI has also issued complementary due diligence requirements. India's real estate sector remains upbeat despite global economic headwinds. India's real estate market continues to demonstrate cautious optimism, as revealed in the latest Real Estate Sentiment Index by Knight Frank and Naredko. Although both current and future sentiment scores dipped marginally in Q1 2025 compared to the previous quarter, the industry remains in the positive zone. While developers and financial institutions foresee stability or growth in residential prices and project launches, global uncertainties have slightly tempered expectations regarding sales. Nevertheless, the sector remains resilient and focused on long-term momentum amid a dynamic global economic backdrop. DLF posts 39% profit growth in Q4 FY25, driven by strong revenue surge. India's leading real estate developer by market capitalization, DLF Limited, has reported a 39% year-on-year jump in consolidated net profit for the final quarter of the previous fiscal, reaching INR 1,282 crore. This impressive performance was supported by a substantial rise in revenue, which climbed to INR 3,347.77 crore during the January-March quarter. For the full financial year, the company's net profit rose to INR 4,366.82 crore, up from INR 2,723.53 crores the year before, while total income grew by nearly 29%. The board has recommended a dividend of INR 6 per equity share, subject to shareholder approval, reinforcing investor confidence. DFS Secretary urges IFCL to diversify infrastructure financing portfolio for sustainable growth. The Department of Financial Services, DFS, conducted a review meeting earlier this week with India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited, IEFCL, where DFS Secretary M. Nagaraju directed the state-owned financial institution to intensify diversification across different infrastructure subsectors. The directive comes on the back of IIFCL's strong performance over the past 5 years, during which it achieved a 17% compound annual growth rate, CAGR. Nagaraju highlighted the need to expand operations into new areas while maintaining asset quality. IIFCL's Managing Director, P.R. Jaishankar, and other senior executives were present during the discussion. India's urban future. Who will shape and manage the cities of tomorrow? India is expected to witness a surge of 400 million new urban dwellers over the next 2 decades, placing immense pressure on the country's already strained infrastructure. The unprecedented urbanization will largely result from the reclassification of rural areas as urban settlements, demanding substantial investment in infrastructure, and a skilled workforce equipped to navigate complex urban challenges. Reports by McKinsey and the World Bank underscore the capital investment required. Yet experts warn that funding alone will not suffice. A robust interdisciplinary approach to urban planning education is essential to bridge knowledge gaps and address the unique socioeconomic and infrastructural realities of India's urban landscape. Delhi to establish 200 more zero waste colonies by 2027, processing 25 tons of waste daily. The Municipal Corporation of Delhi, MCD, has announced plans to expand its zero waste initiative by adding 200 new colonies by 2027, aiming to process an additional 25 tons of waste daily. Currently, 633 areas, including 593 residential colonies and 40 institutions, manage approximately 100 tons of waste each day through segregation and composting. Launched in September 2022 under the Swachhta Abhiyan, the program faces challenges such as limited space, community engagement, and stringent certification criteria. Incentive schemes like Harit Mitra and Sabhagita offer property tax rebates to encourage participation. Bhutani Infra teams up with Yashoda Hospital for AI-powered mixed-use campus in Greater Noida. Bhutani Infra has partnered with Yashoda Hospital to co-develop a large-scale, AI-driven mixed-use project in Greater Noida West, with an estimated investment of INR 1,000 crore, excluding the land cost. The collaboration will result in a futuristic campus featuring a hospital, a 5-star hotel, office and retail spaces. Yashoda Hospital, which owns the 10.25-acre site, will oversee the medical infrastructure, aiming to revolutionize healthcare delivery through predictive and preventive technology. Bhutani Infra, known for several developments in Delhi NCR, is also co-developing the Noida International Film City with Bayview projects promoted by filmmaker Boni Kapoor. Kerala government in talks with DLF to acquire Aspinwall House. The Kerala government is reportedly advancing towards finalizing an agreement with DLF Limited for the acquisition of Aspinwall House, a historic 180-year-old property in Fort Kochi. This heritage building has been central to the Kochi Muziris Biennale since it began in 2012, drawing international artists and visitors alike. The Indian Coast Guard has also shown interest in purchasing the property due to its strategic location. However, heritage conservationists and local authorities have voiced concerns about preserving the building's cultural significance. The government is now balancing operational priorities with heritage preservation efforts. Barbara Corcoran sells Fifth Avenue penthouse in one day for over $12 million. Real estate icon and Shark Tank investor Barbara Corcoran has successfully sold her opulent Fifth Avenue penthouse in Manhattan in just under 24 hours. The duplex, which was listed at $12 million, sparked a swift bidding war, ultimately going under contract above the asking price. Featuring 5 bedrooms, a rooftop terrace, and a striking curved staircase, the home reflected Corcoran's refined taste and extensive investment. Originally purchased in 2015 for $10 million, the residence underwent a $2 million transformation. Corcoran is now downsizing to a one-level home in the same neighborhood to better suit her lifestyle. That's a wrap for today. Tune in tomorrow for the latest headlines.